4 extreme athletes from Dnipro and Zaporizhia became prisoners of the occupiers when they captured the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The men entered the Chernobyl zone illegally. They were held captive for almost a month, together with the workers of the nuclear plant. In the breaks between the humiliation of Ukrainians, the occupiers searched for American bases and banderas. They searched offices and destroyed equipment. What did the prisoners have to go through? Find out in the next story.
Це взагалі нелегальна була вилазка.
Maxim Kibetz, a 32-year-old resident of Dnipro, tells us how he got into the exclusion zone with 3 friends. On February 23rd, they passed a checkpoint of the Chernobyl 1 zone and reached Pripyat illegally. They wanted to improve their skills of tightrope walking between abandoned high-rise buildings.
We stood and had breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning on one of the high-rise buildings in Pripyat, somewhere on the 13th floor, and we heard the first explosion.
When the men saw aircraft flying from Belarus and Russian military equipment moving to zone, they rushed towards the nuclear power plant. The National Guard, who guarded the facility, interrogated them.
At first, they perceived us as saboteurs.
The boys were checked and left at the station. Already in the evening, the Russian occupiers broke into the nuclear power plant.
We went up to the 2nd floor. The door opened and a small Buryat with a machine gun appeared in front of us. Through the window, we saw T-80 tanks and several infantry fighting vehicles in front of the main entrance.
At first, the Russian occupiers did not show aggression. They only interrogated the prisoners, say. After that, they began looting.
I lost a player with headphones, but it's not the worst, because the worst is the underpants. Yes, some Buryat stole my pants.
The athletes were most surprised by the fact that Russian troops did not understand where they were. Invaders boasted that they dug trenches on the Red Forest. Gaius never saw the captured National Guardsmen again. Extreme athletes got out of the nuclear power plant on March 20th. During the first Russian-allowed rotation of Chernobyl power plant workers, they were taken by boat across the river to the nearest town of Slavenchik. In those days, Slavenchik was completely surrounded by Russian troops, and pro-Ukrainian rallies continued in the city. The Gaias also took part in protests. They say born under a lucky star. After all, after each adventure, they survived. Sofia Bogutska.